Hey everybody, this is Jeremy J. out in nature. You can hear a river off to the side there. I'm using a really fancy setup to do this video. Check this out. So I have a rock on this paint losing metal power station of some kind. But it was just about the right height for me. I'm 6'4", that I could set my camera up against the rock and back up, and now you can see me doing a video without having to hold the camera and shake. Unless there's an earthquake or something, the video won't shake. So to me, this is an improvement from my videos I've been doing outside, where I've been holding the camera walking around and sometimes having my finger go over the picture. Like if you look back at the last few videos I've done, during the videos you can actually see my finger over the camera. And so I thought, well, I'm trying to do better each time I do something. Like this is some pretty obvious improvements would be not to have my finger in front of the camera for the video and to have the video stay still. This is easy to do when I'm doing a video at my house because I'm sitting in my chair, and that's fine. That's great. Like I'm just sitting there in my chair and looking at the webcam. But I like to do videos outside actually. And so when I saw this giant power station or whatever you want to call it here, I said, hey, that's about the right height. I'm gonna go find a rock, set up my phone and start doing this video. So that's an improvement at least. I think it may take me a few thousand videos before I get really good at these. I've done, I don't know, just over 100 videos where I'm sitting and talking. I think I've got 1,000 more to go before I finally start doing videos that are, hey, like that's actually worth listening to. That might actually be interesting. And that's okay. That's the price. To me, that's the price of becoming good at something, good enough that people will now listen to you, right? I was talking to a guy today at work. He plays a computer game called Defense of the Ancients 2, and he's put in over 1,000 hours playing that game. Now I've actually played that game a little bit, to the point where I have just a general knowledge, just a general idea of what goes on in the game. But he's played over 1,000 hours. I did a video a little while back about the levels at which you know something, like you're aware of something, and all the way through to the point you're a master at something. He's a master at that game, and he's figured out all the nuances, all the corner cases, and even probably has the sixth sense while he's playing the game of where other people are, his opponents are, because he's just put in so much time and is that good at it, and his brain just knows. It just knows. I'm doing this video here simply to talk about what is the influence of things that, see, I'm not going to stop this video. But I've been thinking about today, what determines who we are? Like how much do we allow external influences to shape who we are? I spend a lot of my time listening to other people, like Jim Rohn, Anthony Robbins. There's this guy, Owen Cook, I listen to. Elliot Hulse. Who else? Lots of different people. Ray Kurzweil, Michio Kaku. I'm just rattling off names of people. Go look them up. They are experts in different areas of life. Tony Horton, who did P90X. All these different people. I'm constantly pulling information in from different people to try and help increase my own understanding of life and reality. And it's rare, I'm finding, that I actually take time by myself to listen to my own intuition and to what life and reality means to me. I'm continuously trying to understand what other people think reality should be, when I'm realizing it's a good thing to take time for you as a person, for you to soak in reality and decide what it means to you. Listen to someone, but then ultimately decide for yourself. This isn't always easy, because it's a lot easier to listen to someone else who's an expert or a master at something and just take their word for it. The problem is you haven't really integrated that into yourself. You've heard some words, they've come in, but anything that you've not put a lot of time into, if you try and do, you're not going to be very good at. if you try and play basketball, like I love basketball. I love shooting the basketball. I've been playing the game since I was in kindergarten, since about 5 years of age. Whenever I first play basketball with someone and they have not played that much or only a little bit, and they try and shoot or do different things, it's always very easy for me to see, oh, they just need to set their feet more and position their feet right and bend their knees. And look, their form is bad. They're shooting with two hands. And I can rattle off all these things that I know intuitively to them shooting, but they don't know intuitively. And I could tell them. And in fact, I've sat down with, or not sat down, I've talked to people individually. I'm going to take a walk for a minute just to spice this up. I've talked to people individually about shooting the basketball. And when they go to shoot, inevitably the shot bounces off, or there's a little bit of just a missed shot, and it's hard for them to consistently make the basketball jump shot. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that someone who hasn't played as much isn't able to consistently make a jump shot? Well, of course they can't. They haven't spent the time to integrate it into their brain. The way I look at it is, when you're trying to do something, I'm going to stand by this tree right here, this pine tree, just to break up the video. He thought the video was going to be still the whole time. I look at, when you're learning anything, whether it's a skill or even an idea about life, if you're just starting out, you don't know enough, you don't have enough experience to ultimately to have a really good opinion about that. Like if I just listen to, let's say I go to church or whatever it is. I don't go to church, but let's say I went to church and I just listened to whoever it was there and took their word for it, without study, without practice on my own, I'm not really integrating what that person is saying. I'm not really taking it in. It's like being on the surface of water. You're not really experiencing what's underneath. You're not feeling the depth of that knowledge or that experience, that kind of thing. And so this is why you can't just take someone's word for something, or if you're trying to learn something, you can't just listen to them and think you'll get it. It takes a tremendous amount of time and practice and discipline and just pure raw effort, whether you're thinking about something or studying it, if you're trying to integrate a philosophy or an idea, or whether it's a skill like shooting a basketball. You've got to take time and spend the time on your own to integrate it into your own mind. If you don't do this, you'll sort of be like this. You've ever seen the little feathers in the wind that just go whoosh, wherever the wind blows, that feather is taken. That's kind of what you turn into, is you are subject. You're subject to the whims and elements of life if you don't build a foundation for yourself for the things that you know and that you would like. I'm navigating a forest here, so we'll see if I run into any tree branches while I'm walking. So I'm going back to my little perch now, but I just felt like taking a walk while I was doing this video to spice it up a little bit for you. In a sense, I'm practicing by doing these videos. I'm standing before this camera and my webcam at home, and I'm practicing speaking. I know I'm not good enough yet, but I hope to become so someday. So I'll keep trying. I'll keep doing these videos, and I hope you keep watching. Maybe together we'll learn something. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.